Hello guys, this is FK and today we're going to be looking at all the books in my library. I've taken my time to bring out all the books in my bookshelf and arrange them all over here. I have some here, I have some here, I have some on the ground here. You might not see them, but you see them later. I have some back here. If you can just look behind me, yeah, you can see some of them back here. And I'm going to be going through all these books. I'm going to be telling you why I bought them. And also, if you're interested in any one of them, you can also pick it up and I believe that you're going to see some very wonderful books here that are going to help your tech career. So let us go through all the books in my bookshelf for 2023. These books are the books I have as of right now, 2023. By next year, I'm sure there are going to be more books and I'm going to be updating this video. So let's get started. So as scattered as all these books look right now all over the studio, there's a bit of a method to this madness. Like I said, I've tried to arrange them in a way that it makes sense. I don't really think of all these categorizations when I'm buying them. I just buy what I want, but I've tried to arrange them in a way that it can flow very well with you watching this video. And we're going to start with the fundamentals. Yeah, we're going to start with fundamentals. I'm someone that likes knowing how things work. I don't want any type of black box when it comes to a particular technology. I want to know how it works under the hood. So I invest in a lot of fundamentals books, in a lot of books that tell how it works, why it works that way, and everything under the hood for any type of technology, be it operating systems, frameworks, programming languages, and stuff. So let's begin. The first book we're going to be looking at is this book titled Operating Systems, The Three Easy Pieces. Yeah. Operating systems, the three easy pieces. Now, I was looking out for an operating system book. I had a couple of options, but some of them could not ship down here to Nigeria. But then I was able to land this, which happened to be one of the best operating systems book out there. It's Operating System, the Three Easy Pieces, and it just breaks down operating systems into three parts: storage, that's persistence, virtualization, and concurrency. Yeah. The authors of this book believe that if you can understand these three concepts, that's concurrency, virtualization, and persistence, you can understand how an operating system work. So, and honestly, I've read part of the book and it has been amazing. As you can see my marker here, I've not really read much, but the chapters I've read have been amazing. So if you are interested in knowing how operating systems work, this is a book that you can grab. Then let us go to the next book, which is Network Plus Guide. I got this book because I wanted to understand how networks. I want to understand a lot about networking. So, and I also wanted to be taught from a practical angle. There's a book here that we're going to be looking at later that teaches everything from a theoretical standpoint, and I was reading that and I felt I needed some more practical, so I got this. You can get some network tools and play around with the experiments inside this book, and it has a lot of pictures and a lot of wonderful notes on how to set up networks, how networks work, and how to troubleshoot your network. So Network Plus Guide, amazing book if you want to understand stuff about networking. The next book is this book titled The Secret Life of Programs. The Secret Life of Programs. If you want to understand how programming languages work, yeah, like we write these programming languages, C, C++, PHP. How do they get distilled down to ones and zeros for the machine, for an electric machine like the computer, to understand and give us visualization through the screen, input output, that's all the IO operations and stuff like that. How do programming languages work? How do they instruct the computer to perform all these actions? You want to pick up this book. It's an amazing book. It breaks down things to the bare minimum, in fact up to the electronics part of how computers absorb these programming languages. This book is amazing. I love any book from No Start Press. They're just amazing. I don't know, they're just all the books I've bought from them have been amazing. So I hope that streak doesn't end. So the Secret Life of Programs is another book. It's a book you want to grab if you want to know how programming languages work under the hood. Like I said, this list is all fundamentals. This set is all fundamentals, and yeah, because I'm really interested in how things work under the hood. The next book is this book titled HTTP The Definitive Guide. HTTP The Definitive Guide. Now, if you want to understand everything about the HTTP protocol, which is the protocol that the web mainly runs on, you need to grab this book. This book is a must-have for every developer that has anything to do with the web. There was a video I created where I mentioned 5 books that every developer has to read. This book is one of them. You have to get this book if you work with HTTP. It's just complete. It's so complete. So this next book I'm going to be reviewing. Then I think I need to push this aside so that we can see books when they are displayed. Yeah, the next one is How computers really work. How computers really work. This book is so good. I have done an entire video on just this book. On just this book. If you did not study computer science, or you didn't really have a close contact with computers while starting up your career, and you just got into programming, and you have to figure out all these things about memory management, about caching, about the CPU, clock cycles, optimizing stuff, you need to get this book. It will teach you everything about how the computer works, how the hardware works, how the operating systems work, how networks work, how programming languages work. This book is like a summary of everything computing, and it will teach you everything you need to know, especially as a developer. All the things you need to know, not to waste your time with so many computer science jargon. Just teach you everything you need to know about how computers work. You want to grab this book, How Computers Really Work. Yeah, this is another no starch press book. The next one, this one I got it because I started working in a cybersecurity company, and we were providing DNS security. Yeah, that's web security at the DNS layer. So I just got this book to geek out on DNS, know so much about DNS, because I was writing a lot of technical articles on DNS and DNS security. So if you're interested in DNS, you want to grab this book. Yeah, this Bible-looking book. It's called the TCP/IP Guide. Yeah, this is the TCP/IP Guide. I really use this book as a reference because it is heavily technical. And if you want to nerd on networks, this is the book for you. This is the book for you. You want to understand everything about the TCP/IP protocol, the TCP/IP stack. You want to get this book. It also has a lot of chapters on just DNS. I think DNS has like 7 different chapters. This book is complete. This book is amazing, and I've tried to read this book cover to cover because I just find the knowledge very, very enjoyable. But it's very, very big, and I'm just using it as a reference material now if I want to really master a particular topic that is under the TCP/IP subject. So TCP/IP Guide, I love this book. I just love seeing it on my shelf. It's just amazing. Then the next book we're going to be looking at, How the Internet Really Works. Now, it might surprise you. You might think you really know how the internet works, but there's a whole lot you might not know. You might just have a zoomed out knowledge, some fundamental knowledge and everything. But if you want a complete knowledge of how everything really works, especially the routing, the BGP routers, and the BGP protocol rather, and the routers that form the backbone of the internet. Yep. You want to get this book. It's very, very pictorial. It has a lot of pictures inside. I think I also reviewed this book at a particular time, but it has a lot of amazing pictures to help you really understand the kind of flow of data packets across networks, different types of networks, and how your request gets sent across different servers, hops across different servers, and your request and your response comes back. So this book is a book you want to grab if you want to have complete knowledge of how the internet really works. The next book is my hardware book. Yeah, this year I started loving hardware. I used to have a friend in school then that, as I was doing software, he was doing hardware. He was fully focused on hardware. And I used to kind of marvel at what he does, but I didn't really have time because I was too interested in software. But these days I'm getting a lot of interest in hardware. And yep, A+ Guide to Hardware has been a big help. It has been a big help. I think the interest started from reading some of these computer books and realizing that, I want to know more about how the CPU works. I want to know about how memory works and stuff like that, how storage systems work. And I got this book, and it has just been amazing. Also, full of amazing pictures. You're going to see a lot of beautiful pictures in this book that are going to help you to get a good understanding of what the computer hardware looks like. Different motherboards, power supply systems, CPUs, GPUs, cooling fans, and stuff like that. So, and yeah, I'm going to be there is a bit of information I'm going to be giving because of this book. Very soon on this channel, you're going to see some hardware videos. Yeah, we're going to be building some computers on this channel very, very soon. I'm already I'm already making preparations for that, and honestly, it's going to be absolute fun. So yeah, A+ Guide to Hardware, and I think that completes our fundamental section. Yeah, that completes our fundamental section. Let's move to the next section. So we're going to be starting the next section, which is the architecture section. Like I told you, architecture is like my main focus. So you can guess I also bought a lot of books that are based on architecture. So let us begin. The first book is this book, which is considered as the Bible of distributed applications. Yeah, designing data-driven applications. This book is considered the Bible of systems engineering, distributed applications, and all sorts. I've read a piece of it. I didn't really get the whole Bible of distributed applications when I started my when I started studying distributed applications. But yeah, after some level of knowledge, I understand why this book is a gem. If you're building a lot of complicated systems, you need all the principles and best practices in this book. This book teaches you a lot of strategies, especially how to manage your data. And data is going to be one of the biggest things you're going to be managing when it comes to building distributed, scalable applications. So, this book by Martin Kleppmann is a must-have if you are building very, very complex distributed applications. Yeah, I keep on mentioning the word complex because some of the principles there are not for your, small applications. So you might want to just allow the complexity comes to you before you start applying some of the principles in that book. The next book, however, is an amazing book if you are just getting started with scalability. Yeah, if you hear scalability everywhere. Oh, this application needs to scale, it needs to cater for thousands, millions, and billions of users and not drop in performance and all that. If you're new to the world of scalability, this is the book you want to get. This book started me off fantastically. It teaches you all the moving parts, message queues, load balancers, sharding, and all sorts. This book is a wonderful book for anybody that is going to be walking around the old technical scalability. So whether you're a PM, you're an engineering manager, you're a developer, even if you're a front-end developer, you're going to need this book to fully understand the topic of scalability so that when it's being discussed, you can also contribute effectively. So, next is building microservices. Yeah, microservice architecture is a very popular architecture these days because it helps you scale your teams better. It helps you scale your software development teams better, and also really takes care of the whole single point of failure thing. So, building microservices is a fantastic book if you're going to be building applications that are going to be using the microservice architecture. If you want to check out this book, written by Sam Newman. He also wrote another book here that we're going to be looking at much later because it's not the next one. But the next one is distributed systems with Node.js. Yeah, I write Node.js for my backend applications, so I had to get this book because I was beginning to build a lot of distributed applications. So I had to get this book. Wonderful book by a great guy, Thomas Hunter. I love this guy. He has another book on multi-threaded JavaScript that I'm hoping to check out. So if you're building distributed systems with Node.js, you want to check out this book, Distributed Systems with Node.js. And the other Sam Newman book I talked about is this nice small book, Monolith to Microservices. This book is amazing when you want to break down and translate your monolith applications into microservice architecture. Probably you've heard of microservice architecture and you feel that you can really take advantage of its benefits, but you have built a monolith, you've been running it for a couple of years, and now you want to break it down into microservices architecture. You want to get this book because it helps you to use something like functional decomposition to break down your modules into services and build your application into a microservices architecture. So if that is your situation, you want to get Monolith to Microservices, also by Sam Newman. Let me push to the side so I can still be seeing the preview a little bit. Good. So the next book is an amazing book if you are just getting started with distributed systems. You've been hearing about distributed systems. The word has been thrown around a lot. And you want to understand what they are. You want to understand all the moving parts. You need to get this book. This book is amazing. And part of why it's amazing is because it's small and it teaches a whole lot. Every single chapter in this book is a banger. Every single chapter in this book is a banger, and it helped me to, because I kept hearing a lot of stuff. Oh, circuit breaker, ambassador pattern, load balancers. Keep hearing all these buzzwords all around. This book helps you make sense of everything. Understanding distributed system. Just as it says understanding, you will fully understand what distributed systems are all about. And if you are playing in any space where distributed systems are being done, you want to get this book. Also, this is the software architecture book. This is a software architecture book. I've always heard of software architecture. Sometimes I've tried to avoid it, but later I fell in love with it. But I wanted to understand what it's really all about. What's really all about? Is it a known career path? How do you start on the career path? What do you really do? What are the architectures and stuff? This book teaches you everything. The practice of being an architect, what architectures are all about, what are the benefits, what are the functional requirements, non-functional requirements, and all that kind of stuff, and also goes into each type of architecture pattern, like event-driven architecture, monolith, microservices, microkernel, layered, and stuff. This book teaches you all that. Fundamentals of software architecture, must have if you are interested in architecture and scalability. Now, the next book is kind of in the DevOps territory, and it teaches you DevOps principles. This is the DevOps Handbook. The DevOps Handbook is like I don't know whether it's a prequel or a sequel to the Phoenix Project. There's also another book in this series called the Phoenix Project. And what the Phoenix Project does is that it gives you mock situations that you would encounter as a DevOps engineer and how to navigate your way around it. So it does more of example-driven teaching, while this book is about best practices and principles. So you want to get the two of them together. I've not gotten the Phoenix Project because I saw this guy first, but I'm also hoping to get that. So if you're interested in learning a lot of DevOps best practices and principles, you want to check out DevOps Handbook. And the next is for anyone who has had to do systems engineering interviews. Yeah, if you are an architect, if you're a systems engineer, if you've had to do any sort of systems design interview, you'll have come across this book by Alex Yu and Sam Lam. These are great books. Alex Yu wrote the first volume. Sam Lam joined him. Another wonderful, great guy. They have an amazing YouTube channel called Byte Byte Go that you should really check out. So you want to check this out. System Design Volume 2. These are amazing books that teach you with practical projects. Yeah, like design an S3 bucket, design Gmail service, design a proximity service, and all this kind of stuff. Wonderful examples. Break down the thinking behind it, high level design, low level design. These books are amazing if you're going to be writing systems interview or building any type of distributed systems. And lastly, in this architecture/DevOps section, we have continuous delivery. Yeah, continuous delivery. This is the CD part of CI/CD. And it's quite funny because I've written more content on CI, but I have a CD book. I've also written a lot of content on CD actually, but this book is amazing when it comes to delivering industry-grade applications, bug-free, performant, and designing your CD pipelines. This book is amazing for that. It contains a lot of wonderful principles and real-life examples that can help you navigate your way around continuous delivery. I'm also hoping to get the CI. I think there's a CI version of this book. I'm also hoping to get amazing books, amazing authors, just lovely. So I think we're done. Yeah, we've completed this stack, and we're going to be going to the next stack. So we are on our next stack. I don't know. Am I looking like a book freak yet? I'm still around the border. I don't know. Let's continue. So this stack is books that just help you learn specific technologies. There are books that helped me learn specific technologies, and we're just going to be going from top to bottom. So first we start. Yeah, there was this blockchain phase of my life. Yeah, I'm just trying to get a lot of blockchain knowledge. No, I think I would like to start with this. Yeah, this later. Yeah. I was trying to really understand blockchain because there was a whole lot of stuff about Web3, blockchain, crypto, and all that. So I started to get myself good knowledge on the topic. And honestly, I don't know. I've not read like numerous blockchain books, but I think this book teaches blockchain the best because it uses accounting and real life examples to illustrate what the blockchain structure is, and is rather what the blockchain structure is, and it takes each component is not. This book doesn't rush you. It breaks the blockchain technology into all of its components and gives each chapter. It gives one chapter to each of them. To break it down. You'll be amazed at what this small book can do. Blockchain basics. If you want to understand the blockchain technology itself, I'm not saying you want to know crypto, you want to know Web3 or all these applications of blockchain. You want to know about the blockchain technology itself. Get this book. It's a must-have. It's amazing and it's easy for you to finish it. So, yeah, check it out. It's from Press. Then this other book, I got it alongside this. I just wanted something that has basics on it so that I understand. I've not really read this book, honestly, but I heard that it teaches more of the economics of blockchain and stuff like that. I believe it's also a very, very exhaustive book, but if you want some further reading, it's something you can check out. Then there's this book called Mastering Blockchain. This is more practical, you want to, because there's no practical in that blue book I showed you. This is more practical, the technologies, how to get started and how to build your first project and stuff like that. Mastering Blockchain by O'Reilly will get you up there. Then one of my many Linux books, I don't know whether 4 counts as many, but I think I have like 4 books on Linux. Linux Basics for Hackers. Yeah, Linux Basics for Hackers. Like I said, there was like a 2-year period where I was working at a cybersecurity company and I was really digging into a whole lot of cybersecurity, so I got this book also. They use Kali Linux to teach you a lot of stuff that hackers use, teach you a lot about the kind of strategies that hackers use to break into systems, how to expose vulnerabilities and stuff, insidious threats, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, so this book is just cool for some practical hacking knowledge, and so that you too can be hacker big boy. Then RabbitMQ, my previous message breaker. I'm all into Kafka now. Okay, message breaker. I got this book to really understand RabbitMQ. This is a RabbitMQ cookbook. It comes with a lot of recipes for different problems and solutions that you can apply RabbitMQ to. So if you are a RabbitMQ person, you want to check out this book. It's going to give you a lot of practical knowledge and experience with RabbitMQ. Next, let's still get our preview on. Next is another Linux book. This is a Linux cookbook. The Linux cookbook, amazing book. What this book does is more like also a problem solution kind of thing, but it breaks it into different chapters. You want to work with the file system, you want to work with the network, you want to work with storage, you want to work with user management and stuff in Linux. It has different chapters on it, and all the chapters are just made up of commands. Like, you want to do this is how it's done. Then they explain. You want to do this is how it's done. No fluffy stuff. You want to do this is why you're doing it. This is why you're using this command. These are the 3 ways you can do it, and just amazing. It's an amazing reference book for Linux operators. Now we have another book called the Linux Command Line, and you might be like, yeah, is this not crazy? We have Linux cookbook, we have Linux Command Line. What are you doing with all these Linux books? Now this explains more about the kernel, more like about the internal workings of the kernel. It's not just a reference for commands, problems and solutions and stuff like that. This is more theoretical, breaks down the kernel and how you can program it, how you can optimize it, and all that kind of stuff, and also how it works and all that. I love fundamentals, so trust me. Yeah. Now this is a Docker book. Some call it the best Docker book. Docker Deep Dive. This is the Docker book. This book teaches Docker in a very comprehensive manner. Whether you want to learn the theory aspect, the practical aspect, get this book if you want to master Docker. It's amazing for anybody that is working with Docker, which is a lot of people, because containers are a big part of the kind of architectures we're building these days. So next is my now preferred message broker, which is Kafka. Yeah, Kafka, amazing message broker. I got this book so that I can geek out a lot on Kafka. I also plan to make a Kafka, I hope I get the chance, honestly. I plan to make a Kafka professional course. So this book is also one of the materials I hope to really use. But yeah, if you want to get the best out of Kafka, if you want to know how to fully configure Kafka to optimize your applications, to optimize your message buses and all your messaging systems, yeah, you want to get this book rather. Then we have database. Now these are books I forgot to add to the I think I forgot this in the fundamental section, and I think I forgot this in the architecture section, so I just added it to this list. So they're not part of this list. But yeah, we have database internals. If you want to fully master databases, you want to understand how databases work, this book, I started reading this book when I fell sick. So I was just resting, just lying down, was not doing anything. I was looking for something I can read. I started reading this book. Honestly, it exposed a whole lot of things I didn't know about databases, and I loved every single page on it, and I'm still reading it more and more. I hope to do some content on this channel on database internals, database fundamentals, B trees, the different layers of the database, storage systems and stuff like that. So yeah, this is an amazing book, Database Internals. You want to get it if you are a database nerd. Now this is a book that up until the time I saw it, I've never seen it anywhere. Interest got me to this book because I'm all about performance optimizations, all the scalability stuff and all that. So this book, Systems Performance, written by Brendan Gregg. Yeah, Brendan Gregg. Brendan Gregg was the senior performance engineer in Netflix for a very long time. I think he just left like 2 years ago or a year ago, but he was there for a lot of years, and he wrote 2 books. One on the BPF. BPF is sort of a kernel client for doing a lot of performance stuff. Yeah, I can't really remember the actual definition of BPF, but this, if you want to troubleshoot the performance of systems at any level, whether at the application level, at the component level, at the operating system level, at the network level, you want to troubleshoot it, you want to optimize it, this book is heavy on that. This book is heavy. I'm using this book to learn a whole lot of performance stuff, to learn a whole lot of optimization stuff, because that is the place I want to play. because when you think of scalability, when you think of architectures, what are you trying to do? You're trying to optimize your system. You're trying to get the best out of your system. You're trying to make it performant. You're trying to make it scale to multiple users. So Systems Performance by Brad and Greg. I love this book. I'm reading this book cover to cover because each section is amazing. You have section on CPU, you have a section on operating systems, you have a section on applications, how to benchmark all these different components and artifacts in your software. This book is amazing for that. So yeah, that completes that section. Don't worry, we're going to the last section now, and it's just random. So see you in that next section. So if you have stayed until this point in the video, oh my god, you really love books. You really love books like me. And don't worry, this is going to be a quick one. We're in the uncategorized section. These are just a bunch of books that I didn't fall into any of those categories. Well, some of you might have a different opinion about that, but these are the guys left. So let's just run through them. First is how cybersecurity really works. And you might have guessed, I also got this book when I was, working in writing a lot of articles for the cybersecurity space. So amazing book. Like when I started my job, I didn't really know so much about cybersecurity. This book was my saving grace. Yeah, it taught me a whole lot of stuff quickly about cybersecurity because I was just a technical person. I knew how to write, and I knew I was a very good writer. But when it comes to cybersecurity, I was not very, very vast in all the different terminologies, different types of threats, vulnerabilities, and stuff like that. This book helped me to get that. And this book, I recommend this book for anybody. You might not even be in cybersecurity, but if you care about security, you should get this book. Amazing book. Also by No Such Press, like I said. They're just on this trick. The joy of UX. The joy of UX. If you love to give candid opinions about the user experience of applications, you want to give fact-based opinions about how the user experience of an application should be designed, you want to get this book. I took this book from one of my places of work when I was leaving. I don't even know whether my boss still knows about that. But yeah. The Joy of UX, an amazing book. It's written by, I think the guy, I don't know whether he worked in Microsoft for like 20 years or whether he was an MVP for like Microsoft MVP for 20 years. But this book is amazing when it comes to the UX topic. And I have another book here. This book, The Insider's Guide to Technical Writing. The Insider's Guide to Technical Writing. This book I got when I started my first full-time technical writing job, professional, full-time job, technical writing. So I felt I needed more, so I got this book, and it just gave me exactly what I wanted. What this technical writing role is all about, what is expected of you, how to work with different teams, how to organize your work, and how to give the best, how to give standard work. So if you care about that, if you're a technical writer and you care about that, you want to check out this book, written by Krista Van Lan. Yeah, I think there's a lady. Yeah, wonderful lady. And now this set of books, these are Strategizer, right? Yeah, Strategizer series. I love Strategizer series, business model canvas, and all that stuff. I watched their video like over a decade ago, and I love their breakdowns and stuff like that. So when I started working, or rather when I started getting interested in product, not when I started working over a decade ago. When I started getting interested in product, and also there was a point in time at my place of work, I was taken to the product team. So I started getting these books. Because even my days as a team lead, I was making a lot of contributions to how the product is supposed to be. So I already knew about these books. But in one of those jobs, when I was moved to the product team, I started getting these books. Testing business ideas. Teaches you how to make sure that you're actually solving a problem that users need. Don't just be solving a problem that you care about. Is it this problem that users care about? Is it the problem that your target market cares about? Yeah, and how to test them. So I think that is this. Well, anyway, let's go. So we also have business model canvas. We also have a business model canvas. I think this business model generation, rather, this is the very first Strategizer book I knew about, because I watched the video on business model canvas, and since then, anytime I want to start any type of new idea, any type of new business, I have a business model canvas for it. Even this YouTube channel, I have a business model canvas for it. So this gives you thorough breakdown of how to design business model canvases, and it's amazing for you if you are going to be designing anything regarding your business. Design Thinking Toolbox and Design Thinking Playbook, I think they are like connected, they're together. So this teaches you how to have that design thinking mindset and the step-by-step process and this gives you the tools. Yeah, what should be in your tools as someone that is, operating in design thinking space. Yeah, and we've already talked about testing business ideas. I thought this was value. I thought I had a book. Oh yeah, I have a fifth book, Value Proposition. I gave it to my brother. Yeah, that reminds me. I need to get that book back. I gave it to my brother, so because I knew I had Value Proposition, which is actually the one that teaches you about solving problems that users actually care about. This helps you test those ideas. The ideas that comes from that thinking process helps you test those ideas. So yeah. Thanks to this video for reminding me that I need to get that book back from my brother. So those are all our books. I hope that this has been rewarding, especially if you have watched it up to this section. This has been rewarding. I hope that you've seen some books you can pick here. If you're interested in any of the books, you can subscribe to my newsletter. I'm going to be, writing a whole list of the books and where you can get them, and I'm going to be sending them in my newsletter. So you want to check the description for the link to subscribe to my newsletter. And yeah, that's everything for today. I remain your bro in tech, FK.